Hey, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How's it going? It's me, as usual, um, on this Monday night, cold Monday night, December the 8th. This year is almost over. Thank goodness. We can get into 2026. 2026 is going to be crazy. I'm telling you right now, December, 2026 is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Trust me. 2026. Man, mm, can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. And I hope y'all be here to enjoy it with me. It's going to be wild. Hey, Ronnie, what's happening? How are you? How you doing today? Um, I trust you had a good weekend. You always have pretty good weekends. I think I'm going to start patterning my life after yours. Can't wait to see more craziness. I know what you mean, and it's gonna get crazy. Let me tell you, if you think this year was crazy, 2026 is gonna be wild. Hey, what's up, Charles? How's it going, man? We just sitting here thinking about 2026, man. It's gonna be wild. Um, just just by what's just going on now at the end of 2025. You know, it's 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 gonna be crazy next year. Um, so um, I am gonna start this evening out with something from last week. Uh, it was about those boat strikes, and there's a senator, Tom Cotton, out of Arkansas, um, and that guy, he's either crazy or he thinks we are. You say you pooped from 2025. Hey, you know what, Ronnie? It's been a whole year. It's been a whole year. So, uh, yeah, you got every right to be pooped. It's been a whole year of foolishness. Um, it's just there's gonna be other stuff going on, and like the Supreme Court right now. Hey, James, what's happening? Like the Supreme Court right now is um, deciding whether this guy can arbitrarily get rid of whole agencies. You know, um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that can even be, or agency personnel. And I've never seen a situation in this country where the Supreme Court seems so willing to grant one person so much power, knowing there's going to be someone behind him. There's going to be someone next. He's not going to always be the person in power. And they're granting this guy so much, they're willing to grant him so much power. It's crazy. And yes, Charles, he wants to take over everything. So, right now, the case is he wants to fire that FTC person and black woman, of course. You know, he's got this thing. Can't be anybody, no high ranking black people. Just he's got this thing. We can't do that. So he has decided that, and they seem, from what it looks like, they seem to be leaning toward allowing him to do it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Unfortunately, not only that, but we've also got um, this war thing going on. Never seen any of this mess in our country. Right, me either. I'm with you on that. But we got this war thing going on that he's trying his best to commit these war crimes that are clearly war crimes. Now we're gonna sit down and listen to uh, Tom Cotton. Like I said, Tom Cotton he's on the Armed Services Committee or something like that. A Republican out of Arkansas, and his explanation of what they saw, everybody else's explanation of what they saw in the videos, that Trump said he didn't mind being released, and then jumped on a female reporter for asking him if he's going to allow him to be released. And he says, nah, whatever Hexus wants to do. He said, well, you said you release him. Nah, I didn't say that. Anyway. So we may or may not get to see the double tap video, but we see the first video. Okay, and I'm going to play that right now. The first video, I'm going to play that along with what Tom Cotton is saying in the video, about the video. Not in the video, but he's saying this is what he saw in the video. And then we'll see the video after he says that.
Two survivors trying to flip a boat loaded with drugs down for the United States, back over so they could stay in the fight. And potentially, given all the context we heard, of other narco-terrorist boats in the area coming to their aid to recover their cargo and recover those narco-terrorists. And just like you would blow up a boat off of the Somali coast or the Yemeni coast, and you'd come back and strike it again if it still had terrorists and it still had explosives or missiles, Admiral Bradley and Secretary Head said that exactly what we would expect them to do.
What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have two individuals in clear distress, without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who are killed by the United States. Under the DoD manual for abiding by the laws of armed conflict, the specific example given of an impermissible action is attacking a shipwreck.
All right, I want to turn to David Rode here. I mean, if we look at the initial strike, we do have the video of that, right? And we've all seen it, right? Here it is. So we're talking about potential war crimes here. And I'm not trying to be silly, but I have to ask you, where exactly was this? How far away from land was this? What was the possibility that these two survivors could paddle away and continue their drug operation? I mean, are we kidding me? Is this guy serious, talking about the potential that these two survivors could continue the operation? I mean, we're not stupid, but I have to ask.
Okay, first, let's tackle one thing here. Let's tackle something. Did you see the strike on the boat? Okay. So that first strike literally cut that boat in half. Okay. You got half a boat out there. And you got two people who survived the hit. Two people who survived the hit. Now, if you saw that strike, Tom Cotton's position is these two people deserve to be killed because they were trying to flip over what was left of that boat and continue to fight. Now, let's examine that language. First of all, these people were not fighting. Okay? There was no fight. There was a strike and then a disintegrated boat and two people in the water and clinging on to what was left of a boat. He wants you to believe that after getting the boat blown away from under your ass, you got no radios, you got no help, you got no weapons. You got nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. They were just trying to live. Yeah, trying to get out of the water, right. Now you got this man saying they were trying to continue to fight. There was no fight. Okay? There was no fight whatsoever going on. And then he says, just like shooting any other boat, you know. Let's listen to Tom Cotton again. Here's another interview of Tom Cotton and what he has to say about these strikes.
This now is Senator Tom Cotton, a Republican from Arkansas. He is chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, also sits on Armed Services. You were in the middle of many of these briefings yesterday, Senator, so it's great to get your insight here. The reporting this morning is that these drug runners did not appear to have a radio at the time they were killed, and Admiral Bradley said they were not in a position to call for help at the time. So what threat did they pose?
Well, John, the threat they pose is the threat that the boat that was destroyed yesterday posed and that all these other boats posed. They're running drugs in high volumes into the United States that have killed hundreds of Arkansans in recent years and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Americans. It's not exactly what Admiral Bradley said. He said that they didn't have any intercepts of these two drug traffickers trying to radio or call for assistance. That doesn't mean they weren't doing so. It doesn't mean they weren't trying to access communications equipment on the boat, or that they didn't have any of their drug trafficking pals trying to come pick them up because they were just off the waters or just off the coast of Venezuela. That's a known area for drug cartels.
Did you see any evidence of them trying to use a radio in the video you saw?
Well, I saw lots of evidence of them standing on the boat that had been capsized.
That wasn't my question. Did you see any evidence of them
trying to get it back up, trying to flip it over?
Did you see any evidence of them trying to use a radio?
No, I didn't, John. No, John, but they were clearly not incapacitated. They were not distressed. One guy took his T-shirt off like he was sunbathing. They were trying to get the boat back up and to continue their mission of spreading these drugs all across America.
Did they get the boat back up?
That's what they were doing, and that's why Admiral Bradley ordered the second strike. Well, no, they didn't, because we killed them, and we were right to kill them, and Admiral Bradley was totally justified in a decision he made. A decision, by the way, that was broadcast on multiple secure screens at the Pentagon in Fort Bragg, and that hundreds of people watched in real time with probably dozens of JAG lawyers. So what the Washington Post said last week was a complete lie. They owe an apology to Pete Hegseth, and especially they owe an apology to Admiral Mitch Bradley. He is a highly decorated career Navy SEAL.
Well, the Washington Post reported there was a second strike, which at first the administration seemed to deny. Let me ask you this specific question. Would it be legal for police in Arkansas to kill suspected drug dealers on a boat in an overturned lake?
Well, John, let me go back to the premise of your question. The Washington Post reported that Pete Hegseth had given an unlawful order of no quarter or no one left alive or kill them all. Pete Hegseth denied that last week, and it didn't deny that there was a second strike. Mitch Bradley and Dan Kane both flatly denied that yesterday as well, which some of the Democrats who watched that video and got those briefings confirmed. So that was what the Washington Post reported. That is a total and complete lie. I just respectfully disagree with my Democratic friends here. I think the problem they have is not with the second strike, it's with the first strike and every other strike on these boats. They think the entire operation is not well founded. I just disagree with them. I think the analogy I would draw is not Arkansas police officers dealing with American citizens.
So, Mr. Cotton, I had to cut it off there. Mr. Cotton, it seems to be only interested in the Washington Post report. See, the Washington Post report be damned, okay? Who cares about the Washington Post report? We talking about the video that you saw during the hearings. They had hearings and they showed the videos. He doesn't want to talk about the videos that were shown. He just want to talk about where the Washington Post had an error in some of the reporting. Let's concentrate on that. No, let's concentrate on what actually happened on those videos. And if we go by his words, and his words alone, one of the guys took his shirt off as if he was sunbathing. So, if you take your shirt off and sunbathe, you deserve to catch a missile. Okay? So don't take your shirt off and go to sunbathing after you've been hit with a missile. Now, if he took his shirt off, it might have been because his shirt might have had some of that phosphorus or that magnesium or phosphorus from that missile strike on his shirt burn his ass up. You know, that could have been it. I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing, you know. I'm just guessing. Because, you know, this guy seems to, he's never seen a strike on anybody other than an American that he doesn't like. He doesn't seem to mind hitting anybody. So I guess we can forget about him giving a damn about somebody getting struck out there in that ocean. Now, my opinion, and it seemed like everybody else that has any sense, if you strike a boat and it's questionable that it's legal that you're out here striking these ships because you decided that you're going to call them narco-terrorists. And it has also come to light that these boats were not going towards America. They were going towards another of the islands which supply Europe drugs. This stinks big time. This stinks big time. These guys was, like James said, tried to get out of these damn shark-infested waters, get on top of this piece of hull that's still floating, not trying to get back into no fight. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't know nobody crazy enough to try and get you out here in the water with nothing and you trying to get into a fight with whatever just blew your boat away from under your ass. I ain't trying to get into no fight with whatever that was or whoever that was. Okay? So this guy Tom Cotton is full of shit, as well as the rest of the Republican Party at this point, which, I might add, is starting to fall apart. For those of you in the know and pay attention to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, Elise Stefanik. Elise Stefanik is a representative out of New York, and she has started a campaign for governor of New York. Nancy Mace is a representative out of South Carolina. She is running for governor, I believe, of South Carolina. A man by the name of Allred, who was running for Senate in Texas, just bowed out of the Democratic Senate race in Texas to allow Jasmine Crockett that spot to run in. So 2026 is shaping up to be something else. Now, Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Elise Stefanik have been dogging Mike Johnson's ass out. And along with other Republicans, they are wearing Mike Johnson's ass out. Their party is falling apart. This is going to be interesting. Okay? This is getting interesting. 2026. Pay attention. By the way, if you get a chance, if you got that on your device, hit that thumbs up for me and hit that share and like stuff. Appreciate it. 2026 is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I just want to see, though. I want to see how far this falls apart before 2026. Because if we get more resignations out of the House, we may not even have to wait for 2026. We got 3 more weeks in this year. This is shaping up really crazy at this point. Another announcement today. $12 billion for the farmers, supposedly from tariff money. That's probably going to be a lie. The Supreme Court has not ruled on that yet. Let's hear that announcement right quick about the $12 billion. And let's hear this lying bastard. While I hate to hear this person speak, watching him lie is a study. There should be a class dedicated to studying how this man lies instantly. How he just all of a sudden tells just makes up something quick. Yeah, it was 40 billion. No, actually trillions. It was really trillions. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this right here.
Down everything. It's such a big category that when gasoline comes down, sort of everything sort of follows. But we inherited a mess. Affordability, but you can call it affordability or anything you want. But the Democrats caused the affordability problem, and we're the ones that are fixing it. So it's a very simple statement. They caused it, we're fixing it. And they have a tendency to just say this election's based on affordability. And nobody questions them, John. Nobody says, "Oh, well, what do you mean by that?" But they just say the word. They never say anything else because they caused the problem. But we're fixing the problem, and we're pleased to be joined today by many of the wonderful members of the farming community, as well as the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. Brooke, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Thank you very much, Scott. Senator John Bozeman. Thank you, John. Good job. John Hoeven. Thank you, John. And Deb Fisher. Thank you very much. As well as Representative Austin Scott, who's been with us right from the beginning. Thank you, Austin. Good job. I'm delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election, because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs. You'd be sitting here losing your shirt. But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott, because the real number is, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new auto plants and all of the other things, AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me, because based on voting trends, you could call it voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Meryl. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right? Peanuts. She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops, and it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families. And again, we inherited something that we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we're taking care of it. Farmers are an indispensable national asset, part of the backbone of America. I've always felt it so strongly. They're so important. Unfortunately, under Sleepy Joe Biden, he's a sleepy guy, our farmers were crushed by the worst inflation in modern history and crippling restrictions on energy, water, and countless other necessities for farmers. And what they did to the farmer in terms of putting the brakes on was just absolutely unacceptable. In my first term, we had an agricultural trade surplus by a lot. We had a big surplus, meaning we were exporting American agricultural products all over the world, making a net profit, and in many cases a very substantial profit. He came in and ruined it. Biden turned that surplus into a gaping agricultural deficit that continues to this day, but we're knocking it down. It's starting to go very good. In fact, China, as you know, is buying a tremendous amount of soybeans, and the number, I spoke with President Xi recently, very recently, and I think he's going to do even more than he promised to do. So I think the relationship is a very good one. I think he's going to do more than he promised to do, and what he promised to do is a lot. So we're very happy with that. In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good. But now we're once again in a position where a president is able to put farmers first. But unfortunately, I'm the only president that does that. On day one, I terminated the Green New Scam. Energy prices are down. Gasoline prices are down. We've slashed record numbers of crippling regulations, and we're working on huge trade deals, already securing $60 billion in agricultural purchase commitments. And, Biden made none. He didn't make any trade deals having to do with the farmers or any of it. It's crazy. China committed. He was the worst president in the history of our country, by the way, in case anybody has any questions.
Okay, I've had enough of that stuff. If you can, it's absolutely amazing. All the sleeping they caught him doing. Yeah. Hey, Charles, this dude is sleep at every meeting, every press conference, everywhere you see him, he's sleep. And he's calling Biden Sleepy Joe. He should never say that again. This man should never use the word Sleepy Joe ever again. And the other thing, hey, James, right. I hope they don't hold their breath waiting on that money. Sorry about that. I didn't see that earlier. Hopefully, they're not holding their breath, because all of the ones who filed bankruptcy this year, What about them? What about the ones that are unaliving themselves this year? Okay? What about them guys? See? But my main point, though, in showing that, did you see the swiftness in which he would lie just like this? As he's speaking, he just spit out something else on the side. It's like a little lie, a little side lie. You know, we taking in billions. Actually, it's trillions. The president of China, he's doing a lot, but he's going to do even more. He's probably going to do more. And it's like, hey, man, stop lying, please. I know it's wishful thinking that this guy could stop lying. $12 billion. And notice he said it was going to come from the tariffs. Well, like I said a second ago, the Supreme Court has not ruled on whether the tariffs are legal or not. If the Supreme Court rules that the tariffs are illegal, which it's a good chance they may actually do that, they'll probably have to give that money back. They'll probably have to give all of that tariff money back. And if that is the case, guess what? We're on the hook for everything. Imagine, okay, there's a real secret out there. There's a secret that ain't nobody talking about. And that secret is a lot of these rich people right now that are enjoying Trump being in office are taking advantage of one thing. He has destroyed the IRS. So the IRS right now is handicapped. Remember when Doge came in? They came in and they fucked over the IRS as well. So we're not collecting tax revenue the way that they're supposed to. They're banking on the tariffs taking care of so many things. If that is ruled illegal and they have to give it back, remember last week, Costco filed a lawsuit so they could be first in line, and I guarantee you there are other countries falling in line behind Costco. They filed a lawsuit in federal court stating, hey, if the tariffs are found to be illegal, we want our money back that we paid in tariffs, because Costco, along with some of the other businesses, did something I did not expect. They stepped in when they put these tariffs on. In order for the economy to not nosedive, and I hate them for this. I hate them for this. Major corporations paid part of the tariffs that the American people were supposed to pay. I'll say it again. Places like Costco, Amazon, these major corporations, when the tariffs got put on all the products that this jackass put the tariffs on, the corporations paid part of the tariffs that you and I were supposed to pay. They paid it to keep you and I from having to pay it. Because they knew if you and I paid it, the economy would have nosedived. That would have been it. We would have been done. So corporations stepped in and paid like 50% of the tariffs that you and I were supposed to pay. Another part of the tariffs was paid by the companies that's overseas that was actually making the stuff. They absorbed some of it too. I think they took a quarter of it or something. So you and I didn't have to pay it. So our economy wouldn't nosedive. recently, as late as last month, the corporations came out and said, "Hey, sorry, we can't we can't absorb anymore. We can't take it anymore. You didn't cut too deep into the paper." So moving forward, the tariffs are about to hit. See, remember, the tariffs never really hit the way they were supposed to. Sure, the prices of stuff is high. Hell, I was in the grocery store today, and beef is yeah. Oh shit, beef is high. I was like, whoa. Did get me some free eggs from Myers. I tell you what, if you get a Myers coupon in the mail, a set of coupons, use them, because I got some free eggs. I got 2 dozen free eggs today. Just putting that out there. And if you need some eggs, let me know. Because I'm about to be having quite a few omelets. Anyway, the tariffs never hit the way they were supposed to. Now they're going to start hitting because the companies can't absorb it anymore. So this money he's talking about, this $12 billion that's supposed to come from tariffs, may actually start coming from you and I. And quite frankly, I want somebody that's going to stand up and say this out loud. No, we are not supporting the farmers with $12 billion. No. No. Because they voted for what they got. Don't forget the spam. Hey, man. Dude, nothing like some spam and eggs. And check this out. Don't laugh at my spam, brother, because I seen a recipe that I'm finna try. They put some spam on the grill and candied some spam. Had some hot honey barbecue spam. I'm about to try that. And it looked delicious. So don't dog but spam out. Hey, and hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Because I might have a spam Denver omelet. A Denver omelet with spam. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Hey, man, thanks. So, right about now, the tariffs are going to start hitting. And you know what else just broke the news over the last week? For those that haven't been watching, there were 1.15 million layoffs. 1.15 million layoffs. So for those of you who think we're out of the water, 2026 is about to get wild. So once we start seeing some of these rulings coming out of the Supreme Court, that's the main thing I'm looking for. What rulings are going to start coming out of the Supreme Court? These are some major rulings coming down, and take those along with corporations not absorbing these tariffs anymore and gonna go ahead and pass them on to you and me. See, all of y'all that's been out there shopping, I hope you did your shopping. You know, they made sure the tariffs didn't hit you as hard as they are going to, because they wanted you shopping on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. They wanted you to go out and spend that money, and you did. Okay, so I hope you got that out of your system, because it's about to hit the fan. And quite frankly, personally, I wish it would have hit the fan a long time ago, because If nothing else, America needed to see it. America needed a gut punch. America needed a black eye. And it needed the black eye this guy was trying to give us. But corporations stepped in and saved him. Corporations stepped in and just bought their way into everything. Like this ballroom that ain't being built right now because he fired the architect because the architect wasn't going to do some shit he wanted done. You know, the architect wasn't going to put up with some bullshit and he fired him. So now we got a third of the White House torn off and no ballroom being built right now. So, but the corporations, the billionaires, are the ones behind all the money. They've been just passing money around, trying to keep this economy going while this jackass is behind the scenes trying to ruin it. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. 2026. I tell you what. The last time I said this was 2016. And I said, next year is going to be a doozy. And was it for the farmers? Yes. This guy's talking about in his last term, the trade surpluses that we had, the trade deals that was made. This dude killed the farmers in the first term. Killed them. The farmers were finally getting some of their orders back during Joe Biden's term. I think they got up to about 25% back of the market they lost under Trump. The farmers have been telling you themselves. I've been showing it here regularly, how the farmers have been saying under the first term we got killed. And we went and voted for him again. And he's killing us again. So here comes the bailout, just like last time. Here comes the bailout. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. I'm not for it. I hope somebody steps up and says no. I'm not signing off on no money going to farmers. I hope somebody does. Whoever got the key to the treasury box, I hope you ain't in town. So, on another note, tonight, the other day, Donald Trump talked about the garbage Somalis from Somalia and how he didn't want them in the country and how they're garbage. And he talked about Ms. Omar, the representative who is Somalian. So I happened to come across something today, and I'm going to get this one out of my system and get out of here because I think there's some football tonight that I'm missing, and I do want to go check that out. It's Monday. But he called the Somalis garbage, and he called them all kind of names and shit. Talked about they ought to go back to their country and all of this shit. Just like he does every time he mentions countries that have immigrants coming here that are not white. If it's a country that sends immigrants here that are not white, they're garbage, shithole countries. I think we've established that's how he feels. He seems to have no problem telling us that, right? So, I had no idea. I'm not from Minnesota. I had no idea what the Somalis in Minnesota, what their politics were. Until I ran across this right here that I put together today. You gotta see this. It's funny. It is funny. Now remember the Muslims out in Dearborn, Michigan. The Muslims out in Dearborn, Michigan, remember, they said they were not going to vote for Kamala Harris. They were going to abstain from voting because she was not speaking strong enough against Israel. Now, we know Donald Trump is not that good. Not that good. Not that good. The Palestinians in Dearborn, Michigan said Donald Trump is not that good. But we're not going to vote for Kamala Harris. We're going to stay out of it. Yeah, well, what I didn't know was in Minnesota, the Somalians, guess who they were voting for? You guessed it, Trump. Let's check it out.
You mean to tell me not only did the Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan support Wigs R Us, but the Somalians in Minneapolis, Minnesota supported Wigs R Us. And now he is saying that y'all have stolen billions from the fucking United States and from American citizens, and that the mayor of Minneapolis should be disappointed and should not be happy with having y'all in their fucking city. And now they've removed the protections for y'all so y'all could be deported, even though we know a lot of y'all are U.S. citizens. The fact that he said he's removing protections from y'all so y'all can go ahead and see ice, baby, boom, doom, doom. When y'all gonna start listening to black folks? That's my fucking question, because I know y'all come to this fucking country and y'all are told that black people are the most laziest people in the fucking world. Even though y'all don't do no fucking studying, y'all have no idea who the fuck we really are. Why the fuck would y'all come to a country and listen to white folks and not listen to people who actually look like you? I'll wait. Because we told y'all, dumbasses. We told y'all. I'm telling you, I'm going to say this again. Anytime a white person tries to come between people of color, there's always an agenda. And for the Somalian people in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you about to find out that fucking agenda, okay? You are about to be the next. Come on down. It is time for you to get your ride on the ICE train. This shit has got to be studied. Like, honestly, I feel like they don't learn no fucking history when they get here. You forget you look like me. We could be twinning them. They don't like y'all either, but they damn sure will take your vote so they can deport your ass next
What would
time.
you say to the president if he were standing here right now?
Mr. President, we campaign for you. We have hope in you. We see hope in you. Please differentiate between good, bad, and evil.
That's a Somali immigrant who voted for President Trump in 2024, but now Trump is demonizing Somalis in America, specifically here in Minnesota.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
I got 5 children. My children are no garbage. I campaigned for the president in 2024. I actually went out and we reached 50 million people endorsing Trump 7 days before the election.
What drew you to the president?
Because we believed he was an agent of chaos. We couldn't afford anything back then. There was a fentanyl crisis. There was an issue of affordability. The living standards went down. Crime issues. These are 5 very important things to us. And we believe that Trump would be the solution to it. I've been a Republican for over 25 years. I'm not going to stop being a Republican. But what I do know is for a fact is we're getting killed out here because people are saying, we told you so.
Imagine that. Imagine that. People looking you in the face and telling you, we told you so. Now, he says he's been a Republican for 25 years and he's not going to stop being a Republican. You can kick my ass. You can kick my ass all over the place. And I'm going to continue to be a Republican, Mr. Trump. Thank you, Mr. Trump. The rest of the people that voted for him are not getting fucked. Yep. That's what happened when you make a deal with the devil. Absolutely. 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 Hey, man, I had no idea that the the people of Somalia that's here, the refugees that came here, got to Minnesota and ignored the black people that's already in Minnesota. And you know what? I talked about this before. When black people get here from African countries, that them other folks tell them, hey, don't associate with them. They might look like you, but they not like you. And they say the same thing to us. Hey, don't associate them with them, because, see, they not going to treat you right. They going to act like you ain't one of them. See, there's always that person that go between and get between and push from the inside out. Happens every time. And that's what happened in Minnesota. That man said he got out there and got out and campaigned amongst 50 million people. I'm not going to call him a lie. Let's assume he did. How stupid could you be? Now, how stupid could you be? And still want to be a Republican. That is the killer. That's the killer, because he getting patted on the head. See, he's a businessman trying to grow. And among business people, he's trying to work around white Republican business people. And he's getting patted on the head for belonging to the group. When he doesn't understand, when he walks away from the group, it's chuckles, okay? It's chuckles once he walks away from the group. He really thinks he belongs. Because they're looking him in the face and telling him, we told you so. The man literally said it out of his own mouth. We getting killed out here because they're looking us in the face and telling us, we told you so. That's how stupid a Republican is. That's how brainwashed you must be to be a Republican. You have to literally get rid of your own critical thinking. You have to just throw out your own thinking and let them do your thinking for you. For you to take a bashing across your skull like that and say, I will always be a Republican, knowing that the man you voting for is stepping dead in your ass and your family's ass. I hope you, they're going to own his wife and his business. Yeah, of course they are. That's the way it always works. That's the way it always works. I hope you ain't got any family members that's here that have not been naturalized. And that may not even help you, because right now, remember, there's also a case at the Supreme Court where Trump is trying to remove certain citizenship from certain peoples. And guess who's going to fall in that category of peoples? You guessed it. The Somalis. So, you know, it takes some kind of stupid. It takes some kind of stupid to be a black Republican. If you a black Republican or brown Republican, you got to have a brand of stupid that is unmatched by anything that is within the gravitational pull of this particular planet. There's a stupid within you that is almost unquantifiable if you are a black or brown Republican. After all of this, after everything he's shown you, you got to be some kind of stupid. On that note, I'm going to call it good. Because you just can't make this shit up. All right, gang. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. A black MAGA zombie. You know what, man? Yeah. A black MAGA zombie. Yeah. That's weird, ain't it? That's just weird. You know, at this point, you gotta look up. You gotta look at him and just shake your head and say, "Yeah, you zombified, absolutely." Anyway, I'm done for this evening. I'm getting ready to go check out some football. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll talk to you later. Take it easy.